Pubcast. If you're not listening to Pubcast, the terrorists are winning. That's what Jay Moore says.
Welcome to the Pubcast. Sit down and enjoy a pint.
Welcome to the Austin Powers episode of the Pubcast. Allison and Eric join me to break down this somehow underrated classic comedy from 1997. The first Austin Powers movie lives in our memories with all of these silly quotes and jokes from Mike Myers, but it was seemingly everywhere in pop culture at the time, even though it wasn't a big box office hit. As a fan of James Bond, I really like all the references to the 1960s James Bond movies, and while some of that is exaggeration, most of it is pretty accurate, which shows you how ridiculous those old Bond movies were. So grab your crushed velvet suit and head over to the Electric Psychedelic Pussycat Swingers Club as we break down Austin Powers, International Man of Mystery.
In 1967, an international secret agent was cryogenically frozen in case the world ever required his services again. Now, evil is threatening the Earth, and the time has come to bring him back into the 90s.
It's not unusual.
Allow myself to introduce myself.
Danger Powers personal effects.
Actually, my name is Austin Powers. Danger's my middle name.
I'm gonna need you to sign these release forms.
Okay, name. Sex? Yes, please.
In his time, he was the coolest secret agent alive. Unfortunately,
It's freedom, baby, yeah!
this is not his time. He's a swinger in a square world.
A lot's changed since 1967.
Bring on the sexy stews, man! Yeah!
We're called flight attendants now.
And he's a stranger in a strange land.
This is my mother, Mrs. Exposition.
Lovely.
Austin!
What have you done?
That's not your mother, it's a man, baby! Why won't this wig come off?
Well, now you shake it to the left, you shake it to the right. You're doing a hippie shake.
Judo! Ow! That really hurt. Who throws a shoe? Honestly.
Mike Myers,
Yeah, baby, yeah!
Elizabeth Hurley,
Don't forget these.
Oh, thanks.
Austin Powers. International Man of Mystery.
Always wanting to have fun, Austin. That's you in a nutshell.
No, this is me in a nutshell. Help! I'm in a nutshell.
All right, Austin Powers, International Man of Mystery, 1997. The no-nonsense plot. It's a classic. It's a perfect movie for that plot, for that
Right.
idea.
Okay.
A world-class playboy and part-time secret agent from the 1960s emerges after 30 years in a cryogenic state to battle with his nemesis, Dr. Evil.
Done. There's not even an acknowledgement necessarily that this is a comedy. Like there's no use of word like antics or hijinks or whatever that would indicate
This is
that
a hardcore spy movie. It's like it's up there with Jason Bourne and James Bond.
Yeah. And there's nothing about not even necessarily that it's a comedy. I mean, there's not even like any like fish out of water or anything that suggests that 30 years, he comes back after 30 years and he doesn't skip a beat. Like the world just carries on.
So we definitely saw this in the theater. I mean, this is a big deal when we saw the trailer and we were excited for it that summer. This was one of we've talked about a few of these. This is one of those movies, it was everywhere that summer.
Yes.
I mean, it was all over all the late night shows. I mean, it was, parodied and mentioned in like the Oscars. It was, every like lame commercial had like a reference to it. All the catchphrases, the Austin Powers
Yeah,
sort of
maybe. Yeah.
impersonating lines were everywhere. Yeah, this was one of those movies that was everywhere. And it's like I had this in the trivia, but I'll mention it now. It was not a huge hit.
Yeah.
I remember it being a huge hit because it was everywhere, but it wasn't. Where is it? It made like $53 million.
Yeah.
53 is nothing.
But I think it was. I don't think it was ever a intended necessarily be mainstream, but anybody who watched SNL was going to go see this.
It was another one of those movies that hit real big on home video.
Yeah.
Right. It cost $16 million to make it, and it made 53, so wildly successful, but it wasn't like it was the runaway hit of the summer.
Right.
Yeah, it's unusual.
I did not see it. I did not see it until that Thanksgiving.
When we rented it, and I was like insistent that we watch it.
Yeah, it was for my Kmart Thanksgiving 97 was still my Kmart days, my late Kmart days where I was actually like a pseudo manager and I had to work all the way till closing on that Thanksgiving. And I came home in such a bad mood. Like I wanted nothing to do with anybody. I just was in my own world.
Kmart will do that to you.
Yeah.
And then you guys were all excited about that movie. And I sat down to watch it and my mood completely flipped.
Great.
I laughed so hard and enjoyed that movie so much. Like it completely turned me around.
That movie hit its style, its humor at just the right time. Like 5 years earlier, 5 years later, like
I know.
I don't know that it would have had the same impact.
No.
But it became sort of then legend, right? So like the sequel started to build. It had its core audience that kept watching it, but it was perfectly timed with the sense of humor and the actors.
Well, and it was funny because it was like all of it was vaguely familiar.
Yeah.
Some of it was overtly familiar, but it was a lot of the mannerisms or even some of the lines or the gags Mike Myers had done in SNL before. You'd seen that. He had his sensibility out there with all the SNL stuff. All of the James Bond homages or ripoffs or parodies. That was all very sort of like, oh, I remember that. I haven't thought about that in so long, from the 60s or the 70s or whatever. And then the Dr. Evil character was so over the top, but at that time, none of us knew that it was Lorne Michaels.
No.
We just thought this was like a crazy, weird character he created around the Telly Savalas style Blofeld from the James Bond movies. It's Lorne Michaels.
Yeah, it's yes, and apparently Dana Carvey at the time was so annoyed and frustrated because
he didn't nail it.
Well, he was the one that sort of coined the Lorne Michael imitation.
Yeah,
and felt like this was a rip-off of his imitation in some way, because he found, as he would call it, the hook that is the Lorne Michael's imitation, and he felt Mike Myers was doing an imitation of his imitation and not necessarily
maybe whatever. Somehow it worked.
Yeah,
and it happened. It's so great. Well, we watched this outside on the patio a couple weeks ago. And, we had seen it over the years. It's on TV and it just sort of, it's always been around. And it's not like we haven't watched it at all in the past 30 years. But watching it this time, it was better than I remember it.
Yeah, it's very good. It's very good.
It's really good. All right. So we're going to skip. This is our new little format where we're skipping some of the nonsense and going right into the trivia.
Ooh.
So no box office, no Rotten Tomatoes. Let's just get to the good parts.
All right.
This is obviously a parody of the James Bond movies.
Yes.
And I had watched a couple of these recently, I mean, within the last year, these old Bond movies. And it's so on the nose. Like, it's not like the Austin Powers stuff. He's not exaggerating what was happening in those Bond movies. He's doing it almost exactly.
It's not as much of a parody as you want to believe that it is.
It's an outright copy is what it is. Like,
yeah.
There's a video out there, you can watch it on YouTube, of like all of the Bond references or references, I guess, in the first Austin Powers movie, and scene by scene and pointing it out. And there's 10 Bond movies that it talks about, but there's maybe like 3 or 4. But it's obscene. It's so dead on and crazy. I mean, stuff like You Only Live Twice, the underground lair, and all that sort of stuff. A lot of the aesthetics in the movie are from that movie. The Dr. No, the plastic radiation suits.
Yeah.
The whole unfreezing process that was in Dr. No.
Was it really?
They're scrubbing down. Or Sean Connery is scrubbing himself down,
right,
but he's on a conveyor belt, and there's the guys.
Oh my God.
That's a real thing.
Why did I not realize that was from a James Bond?
From Russia with Love, the Frau Farbissina character is Rosa Klebb in that movie.
Oh my God.
Thunderball has number 2, the boardroom full of villains, and the push the button and the chair falls down, he goes down in the pit of fire or dies or whatever.
God.
That's a real deal. Goldfinger.
Odd Job versus Random Task.
Yep.
Random Task as a
one of my favorite.
Henchman name is so great.
It's really good. So all of that stuff. I mean, you can go down. Just a list of never-ending Bond homages and references, but it's really good.
Well, I saw it in a couple of different places. I didn't try to actually go to the source, but Daniel Craig has said that Austin Powers sort of ruined the James Bond franchise because it was so on the nose, but spun it in a way that made it way more comedic than it was intended to, as opposed to just mere campiness.
Yeah.
And that is sort of believed to be why his James Bond became darker and grittier, because he didn't want it to be remotely close to being an Austin Powers.
I saw that too, and I'll agree, sure, that may have influenced it. But if you saw the last Pierce Brosnan movie where he's kite surfing on an iceberg tidal wave, and there's an invisible car, it's out of control, campy, ridiculous.
Right.
So I think that plus the Bourne style movies. That's when Casino Royale got a little more gritty. But of course, Austin Powers is all in that mix.
Yeah.
I saw this.
But it didn't disrupt it enough, because I think a Pierce Brosnan James Bond movie came out every year that an Austin Powers movie came out.
Right.
So Pierce Brosnan didn't change they didn't change the approach with him as James Bond.
Yeah.
But I think when they rebooted it with Daniel Craig, that was their opportunity to do that. When you're sort of locked into a particular James Bond, it would be really weird to go from what it was to something.
Yeah, you can't unring that bell. They were doing it. I saw this, and I had never heard of this part of this influence. That Austin Powers was partially influenced by the British television series Adamant Lives from 1966. That was about an Edwardian adventurer who is revived in 1966 after being frozen by his evil arch nemesis, the Face, and the name doesn't matter. Adam is bewildered by the swinging 60s London. He fights evil with the help of his beautiful, the beautiful granddaughter of his sidekick, who helps him adapt to life in swinging 60s London. So there's a lot of the main sort of beats or plot points are from that TV series.
Oh my God.
Nothing's ever original, but dude.
Yeah. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Mike Myers originally wanted Jim Carrey to play Dr. Evil.
I did see that.
I like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if they already had the Lorne Michaels thing ready to go, but could Jim Carrey have done that voice? I don't know. But Jim Carrey in this movie would be great.
I don't usually break down like alternate casting options because I know you often cover that.
Yeah.
But the one that
I got a couple here
that made me laugh out loud and I wrote it down was that Reba McEntire was considered for Frau Verbissina.
I saw that and it was ridiculous.
I read that too. That would have been good.
Different take, but her face would be hilarious in some of the close-ups.
I want to see that movie. Yeah.
Her yelling Scott.
With a southern accent.
Yeah.
So here's my favorite bit of trivia that I found.
Okay.
You guys may have seen this too. Joe's son, Joe, and his last name is S-O-N, son, the actor who played Random Task, is serving a lifetime prison sentence for the torture of a 19-year-old woman in 1990.
Oh my God.
Wait.
Yeah, I didn't know about that. It gets worse.
And he in 2017 17, he murdered his cellmate, and so he got additional time. He's like a legit bad dude.
Oh my God.
That's why you've never seen him again before.
Oh my God. Yikes.
That's unbelievable.
That is crazy.
Sometimes we point these out when there's something that's very date oriented or time oriented in that given movie. Mike Myers originally wanted Austin to be drinking a Zima in whatever scene to show that he was desperately trying to be cool and fitting in, but not fitting in. Coors was going to do it, but once they realized they were being made fun of and mocked, like, you can't do that. We're not.
Oh my God.
Zima.
That's a great
that would have
bit.
been a perfectly dated beverage.
That's a great bit.
Yeah. The shushing scene was improvised by Mike Myers and Seth Green.
Oh.
I think most of their scenes are.
I think there's a lot of improv.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Will Ferrell, this is his debut film.
Oh yeah. Was he on SNL though already?
I believe so.
I think so.
I think just.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember recognizing him, so I'm assuming that that's it. But yeah, not in a film before.
You mentioned this, but I'll give the specifics. Every Austin Powers movie was released in the same year as a James Bond movie. Yeah. The first one came out the same year as Tomorrow Never Dies. The Spy Who Shagged Me was the same year as The World Is Not Enough in 1999. Goldmember and Die Another Day were both released in 2002. And those are all Brosnan Bonds. Yeah, that's it's a coincidence, maybe? I don't know.
Maybe.
I mean,
maybe
they plan these things out so far. Right. Who knows? But yeah, it's awesome. Austin's glasses, we all, I think, know, were modeled on Michael Caine's character, Harry Palmer, from the Ipcris file. It's the iconic Michael Caine look, right?
Right.
But Caine wore the original glasses when he played his father. And
he did?
Yeah.
Oh, amazing. That's good.
I like stuff like that.
Yeah. And I like that I liked it then that they picked him to be the father.
Yeah.
Like all of it. It's so good.
I like that he went with it.
Yeah.
You know, he wasn't too full of himself. Dr. Evil, I always wondered about this. Dr. Evil's signature pinky to the lips move is based on a similar mannerism of Dr. Rex in the 1964 Twilight episode, number 12, Looks Just Like You, from season 5.
All right.
So, not super interesting, but I never knew where that came from.
Right.
Right. We're flying through this. Fembots. Pam Anderson auditioned to be the lead fembot.
Oh. Okay.
I mean, great. Why wouldn't they have how did she not get it?
Maybe she was too recognizable.
She was but wouldn't that be part of the fun?
Maybe.
I don't know. That's weird. Fun fact, I interviewed one of the fembots. Cindy Margolis was the bikini model in the late 90s, was the most downloaded woman. And we did a magazine feature way back when. So that's my connection to the fembots. Robert Wagner as number 2. First of all, he's great.
He always looks like he's barely containing his laughter.
Yeah.
He looks like he's about to lose it at any second.
He's really good. This must have been his first, one of his first true comedies, right? I mean, I don't know his film career by heart, but he was more of a dramatic actor. But he was great in this movie. A little stiff, but that's what the character was.
I think that was the intent, right? Yeah. He was the ultimate straight guy in this otherwise completely ludicrous world.
Yeah. So Robert Wagner was married to Natalie Wood. She died. Natalie Wood's sister, Lana Wood, was in one of the Bond movies.
Right.
And Diamonds Are Forever. And his present wife, Jill St. John, was also a Bond girl.
Oh.
So he has all the Bond connections.
Right. Interesting. Okay.
Thinking of all the faces that Frau Farbissina makes throughout the movie, and then thinking of Reba McEntire making those same faces.
No way.
I can.
No chance. She couldn't pull that off.
She had her own comedy, like a sitcom.
Yeah, but not then. She didn't have the acting chops for that then. So Rhea Perlman was offered the role of Farbissina.
That's actually great.
That's perfect, right?
That's good.
Comedian Colin Quinn was offered the role of Scott Evil, of his son Scott.
Colin Quinn? Was he older than Mike Myers?
I'm sure.
Time?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I mean, that's got to be the joke, right?
Yeah.
My last bit of trivia that I have is Mimi Rogers was married to Tom Cruise, who played Austin in the movie inside the movie version of Austin Powers in the opening scene of Goldmember.
Wait. Mimi Rogers
was married to Tom Cruise.
In real life.
She was the one who got him into Scientology.
Yeah.
Oh, perfect. Great job, Mimi.
So again, all these connections that are weird. Eric, any trivia from you that I didn't cover that you want to throw out?
Scrolling here through a little bit that I have. I think you got most everything. Yeah, I got nothing else.
Cool. Sorry. Al, how about you? Nothing?
I offered the 3 that I had written down.
All right. Well, now it's time for a recasting debate. It's time to recast debate.
Better close the door. It's time to recast debate.
All right.
Now that pressure's on Eric to come through in the clutch. So I did Austin Powers, Dr. Evil, Vanessa Kensington, Scott Evil, Basil Exposition, and number 2. I did not do a Frau Farbissina or Mrs. Kensington.
I didn't do Mrs. Kensington
or whatever. I didn't do that.
I have a Patty O'Brien.
That's an amazing obscure one.
Yeah, that's otherwise I've done kind of all the other main ones.
Yeah.
You did do a Scott, or you did not?
I did do a Scott.
Yeah,
I have one for Scott.
I have one for Scott too,
and I love it.
I have one for Scott.
Good.
Okay.
I like most of mine. Yeah. I didn't struggle on this one. Once I got in a groove, it was fine.
I think I did okay.
All right. Do we want to start at the top with Austin or at the bottom with like number 2 or Basil?
I feel like let's just go in big.
All right. I'll go first.
Okay.
I have 3 for this one.
Ooh.
For Austin Powers. I have to break my own rule of age. I mean, it's a long broken rule for me, even though I like to do it, but I'm too old and I don't know enough young actors. So the end. So my number 3, almost as a default, was Bill Hader.
That was my number 1.
Yeah. I thought it was of course he could do it.
Yeah.
Great. I thought it was too obvious, and I just happened to luck into 2 other ones I like better.
Oh, okay.
My number 2, off the grid a little bit.
Okay.
For Austin, Dev Patel.
Oh, interesting.
I don't know if he can do any of it, but I like him as an actor, and I think he's funny enough and his timing is good enough. He could do some of this.
Interesting. Okay.
It would be a vastly different Austin Powers.
Yeah.
But it's interesting. The one I love, he's almost doing this character in his real life, I think.
Okay.
Eric will appreciate this, is Matt Berry from What We Do in the Shadows.
Oh. Oh my God.
His normal, like, over the top.
Yeah. That's
at least all the stuff he does on film.
Yeah.
His voice, his sort of everything it slides into Austin Powers.
It does. That's actually really good.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Matt Berry.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's good.
We have to put him in a 15-year time machine, but that's fine.
I don't know.
I know. It doesn't matter really for this character, but
I don't think it really matters. And I almost like it a little bit better where he's slightly aged but he still wants to be the swinger and whatever and thinks he's irresistible to women and all of that stuff. That's pretty good.
Yeah. I think that's it. For me, it was a home run.
Yeah.
All right, Al, give me your Austins.
Well, I only had really 2, and Bill Hader was my number 1 by far. There was part of me that wanted to figure out, can you like gender swap it in some way? You know, I am all in all the time on Melissa McCarthy. But she did the Spy movie, and so like I kept like reading into that, and then I'm like, well, you could take that whole cast and sort of put it into this movie.
I do like a cast swap. Or like an all-black cast too would be fun.
Right.
I couldn't pull that off.
And then I had a real super distant second where I was trying to think of like who would lean into being over the top and whatever, and it was Mikey Day.
I also considered him, but
I couldn't get past Bill Hader, and I just sort of stopped.
Yeah, I agree. Eric, tell us your thoughts on Austin Powers.
So, yeah, I came to the conclusion that Mike Myers is the only possible Austin Powers, because This is 100% his brainchild, and it wouldn't exist without him. So, to even more so than like when we did Ace Ventura, and we're trying to think of somebody else besides Jim Carrey that could have been Ace Ventura.
Yeah.
This even more so.
Yep.
It's 100% him. So I did not even try. Austin Powers is my.
I thought the same thing. It's definitely the Ace Ventura conundrum that we have. Like, he's the character. There is nobody else.
Yeah, and I think we had similar for Big Lebowski. It was hard to think about a different Lebowski, but
And even in those other situations, Jeff Bridges didn't write it.
Right.
Didn't write Big Lebowski, and Jim Carrey did not write Ace Ventura, but Mike Myers wrote Austin Powers.
Well, it is such his sense of humor. Everything from, the juvenile like toilet humor to all the different parodies and exaggerated characters and everything else. It is very much him like that is his.
So we did Austin Powers. Austin Powers and Dr. Evil are the same character. I tried to cast another.
I did too, because when I saw that it was originally for Jim Carrey, I felt like I had permission to think of Dr. Evil as somebody else other than.
I didn't do it because of that, but sure, yeah.
But that's I kind of felt a sense of relief because I was really struggling to find somebody that would play both parts. So when that was not the original intent, I'm like, ooh, okay, I'm going to then approach it with different people.
So I started thinking of it, and then I didn't really come up with any names, and I stopped sort of thinking pretty quick. But I threw in one name, Tom Hardy.
Oh.
Just because it's a chance for Tom Hardy to do a dumb voice that he can't do very well.
So I was looking for people who would be funny, like bad guys, if you will. So one, it's more of a throwaway, and it is giving Dana Carvey the opportunity to play the part the way he would have wanted to see it played.
Yeah.
So that's sort of like the softball.
Well, so here's the question that I have.
Yeah.
Does the person playing Dr. Evil have to play it as Lorne Michaels?
No, not necessarily.
So they're doing their own.
They're sort of doing their
bad
own.
Guy, Dr.
Yes.
Evil. Okay.
Yes. I want Tracy Morgan to play a bad guy mastermind. So completely insane. So you can then throw in all of the crazy ways to kill people and stuff like that. And it could be perfect.
It's just him doing his character on 30 Rock, right?
It kind of.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah.
I had John C. Reilly also being a really good villain.
I think that's the winner in the clubhouse right now.
Yeah.
Then the one that would get a good laugh and has been shockingly good as a guest host on SNL, Adam Driver.
Fucking hell. I always forget Adam Driver's in our little merry-go-round of people we put in stuff.
But when you think about the initial him on screen being the bad guy, everybody would love it. And then he's just going to be surrounded by incompetent people.
Yeah. All right.
So those are my three: Tracy Morgan, John C. Reilly, and Adam Driver.
Eric, you don't have a Dr. Evil, I'm assuming.
I don't, but using the the logic that Allison just used about there being there's a world where it's not the same actor playing both parts, and it doesn't have to be necessarily the Lorne Michaels impression.
Yeah.
I would like to see Bill Hader as Dr. Evil. That would be
That's good. Yeah.
Matt Berry versus
Yeah.
Bill Hader. I would like that. Okay. Let's do Vanessa Kensington. Al, let's have you start off.
Honestly, this was one of those things where, unfortunately, it's a bit of a...
There's not a character there.
Yeah.
Insert. Yeah, it's... go ahead.
It's sort of just, I kind of went like the supermodel route, to kind of play off of the Elizabeth Hurley. So you look at like Emily Ratajkowski or whatever, however you say her name. Sure. One of the Hadid sisters could be doing it. Miranda Kerr. Another one. I think she's done some acting too. I would put in like Daisy Ridley as an alternate to the supermodel, but she could play the I think she could play the straight part, but with a little bit of edge to her, like annoyance with Austin.
Yeah, so I went the other way. I did not do the supermodel thing. I went the other way. My number 3 plays into what you just said with the edge and play straight, but being annoyed by Austin. Anya Taylor-Joy. As my number 3. She could do it, I think. Number 2, I think, can live in both worlds of straight, but bring a little bit of comedy, because I think she has done some of that on screen, or at least I think she has. Florence Pugh.
Oh.
Different vibe, but
that's why I had.
Yeah, great.
Yeah. Her Marvel character, she's the competent spy, but then also has a little bit of attitude that
I agree. A little
comedic elements to it that she could probably do that, make that work.
A little more personality. Yep.
Yeah.
My number 1, I lean further into comedy, even though this character doesn't have a lot to do. This person could nail at least the comedic reactions to Austin, and that was Chloe Fineman from SNL.
Oh, yeah.
But again, this is not a real character, so it's just a person.
It's another straight character, right?
Yeah.
Intended to be the foil for Austin's silliness.
Yeah, she is the straight man, essentially. Okay, Scott Evil. I have one name.
I have only one name too.
I have one name.
Then we're going to have Eric go first for this one, since he's got one. Eric, give us your Scott Evil.
Pete Davidson.
Yep, that's it. That is it.
That is not who I had. That is the obvious one, or the best fit. Instead, I zigged instead of zagged on this one. I went Jenna Ortega.
Oh.
And make her like a goth.
Yeah.
A gothy sort of disaffected teenager.
Yeah.
Her Wednesday Addams.
Yeah. Essentially that. A little more punk, but yeah.
I like it. That's good.
Yeah.
All right. Basil Exposition.
Okay.
I actually have 3.
Ooh. Okay.
I'll give you all 3, and I think I like all 3.
Oh, okay. I think I really only have one.
So my number 3 is Stephen Merchant. I think that's a fun one.
Oh my God. Okay.
I think that would be a fun one. Obviously, he's more. This and my number 2 are both more comedy than straight man.
Yeah, although he plays a straight, more serious character in Jojo Rabbit.
Yeah.
But there's like a comedic element to it.
It's a Nazi.
I know, but I
know
it's different. Yeah.
All right, my number 2 is Charlie Day.
Oh. What? I don't know about
I think
that.
I just wanted to get him in this. He could be number 3.
Yeah. Okay.
My number 1, I think I really want this one to work, is Tilda Swinton.
Oh, that is
She's
good.
in as my Basil.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. That's good. I knew she was going to be in here somewhere. I thought she was going to be your Dr. Evil.
Yeah. Probably could have been or should have been.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Yeah. So I've got the trifecta. I threw in a Tom Hardy, a Tilda Swinton, and a Charlie Day.
Wow. You've checked all the boxes.
Bonus point today. Al, give us your Basil.
Colin Firth.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Sure. Straight man.
Yep. That's all I really had. Eric?
I have one. I don't. At this point, he might be a little old, but
Firth.
Patrick Stewart.
Oh.
Oh, that's
like
good.
that.
I like the voice for that too a lot. I like that one.
That's good. Okay, number 2. Al, you go first and give us your Mr. Number 2.
So when I did this, and I know it doesn't happen until the second one.
I know.
I had both an old and a young number 2 to make sure that I could kind of make it work. So I'd say my number 3, I'm going to still give the old and young number 2s.
Oh,
So,
you have an old and young for all 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So I this is my least favorite, but I've got Bradley Cooper and Austin Butler as being old and young.
I don't know how though. I mean, that's fine. But
Yeah.
Wow.
I know. My second choice would be to make Rob Lowe be the old number 2.
That is the answer, right? I mean, it has to be. That's just what we're doing. Like,
yeah,
he is just now old enough to play his older version.
Right,
Yeah.
right. And I have Jacob Elordi as his young number 2. But my number 1 is Idris Elba as being number 2.
That's good.
And then having John Boyega be the younger number 2.
That's good. That's good. I like that. I'll tell you, my third I don't love, but I'm throwing it in there anyway.
Okay.
Number 3, John Mulaney.
No, I tried to figure out where to put him in this movie.
Yeah. I don't think he fits here, but
no, he needs to be in here somewhere, but I don't know where. I'm not sure that that's it because you miss his comedy playing that part.
I know. He's in one of the sequels or something. I don't know.
He could be the mole.
So since this is Austin Powers, this is a James Bond parody. I'm doing Daniel Craig as my number 2. my number two.
Yeah.
And then number 1, John Hamm.
Oh, John Hamm.
That's good.
John Hamm.
Yeah.
That is the right one.
Yeah.
I think that's the right one. That's good.
That would be fun.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. That's good.
We actually, a lot of these, we could have populated with former Bond actors too.
Yeah.
You could have done,
you could do a Pierce Brosnan as number 2.
Brosnan could be all over this.
Yeah.
I guess some of them are not alive.
Right.
But, there are others to throw in there. Eric, number 2.
Yeah.
I only have like 1 or 2. I had Gary Oldman.
Oh.
I like him no matter what.
Yeah.
So I'm on.
He could also be a Basil.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be Basil.
He could be Dr. Evil.
Uh-huh.
Maybe.
Maybe Bryan Cranston.
Oh, that's good too. That's really good.
As number 2 here. Yeah, sure.
That's a good one. I think John Hamm is still the top one. It's perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
All right.
You can't see that.
Yeah. That's all I've got. But Al, you have a couple of bonus people?
Yeah, I did a Frau and I did Patty O'Brien.
Oh, that's right.
Patty O'Brien will do that one quickly. I want it to be Fred Armisen.
Sure.
Yeah. Fred Armisen's got to be in there somewhere.
Yeah. It has to be like a small kind of nothing part, but I love it.
He could do Dr. Evil too.
Yeah.
Actually. Good.
My Frau.
Fred Armisen is the king of nonsense humor, so it has to be so small and just completely nonsensical.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. My Frau, 2, I went both SNL. My number 2 is Kristen Wiig, but my number 1 is Kate McKinnon.
Yeah.
Like, she is playing Frau. She is yelling Scott. She is giving the little like nods and makes the funny faces and stuff like that.
Closest to that character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's not really even acting.
No. All right, Eric, did you have any others?
I did not.
Okay.
Great.
All
right. Basically, this is favorite scenes
right.
or quotes or whatever.
Okay, name. Austin Danger Powers. Sex? Yes, please. Actually, my name is Austin Powers.
It says here, name Danger Powers.
No. Danger's my middle name.
So who is this Austin Powers? The ultimate gentleman spy. Irresistible to women, deadly to his enemies. A legend in his own time.
Let me ask you a question, and be honest.
Oh!
Do I make you horny? Do I make you horny, baby? Do I make you horny, baby? Yeah!
The world's most powerful subterranean drill.
Does that make you horny?
Not now, Austin.
Oh, behave. Oh, behave. Oh, behave, baby.
Oh, behave!
Why don't we go in the back and shag? Why don't we shag? You're very shagadelic.
Very shagadelic.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Burt Bacharach.
What the world needs now is love, sweet love.
So I just remember the opening credits, like crying, laughing.
It's really good.
It is fantastic. So that is right up there.
The whole unfreezing process. That's a good one.
The unfreezing process. How do I tell her that because of the unfreezing process, I have no internal monologue? Did I just say that aloud just now?
I'm having trouble controlling the volume of my voice.
Pretty much, yeah. Like, once he gets to 1997, every single line out of his mouth is a joke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I liked him rinsing off in the shower, just like the little tiptoe, like.
It's so insane.
Of course, and it's been mentioned many times on different things, but when he's in the little cart in the tunnel and he's trying to turn around,
it's
the
amazing.
1,000-point turn.
It's amazing.
And I really like when he looks back, think he's going in reverse. Forward. Forgot to put it in reverse. It's great. It's so great.
The movie completely stops for like a full minute for that to happen.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah. There's no point to that.
No point to whatsoever. It's just the beat.
Yeah.
And it's not even necessarily like the whole fish out of water thing that,
nothing.
It has nothing to do with nothing. It's so perfect.
Yeah, it's great. I liked him when he was on the big jumbo jet and he like jumps on the spinning bed and is doing all the poses to the Vanessa character, and like she's just so disgusted, and then it keeps going, and eventually she turns and starts laughing because it just never ends. It's great. I wrote down the Zip It scene.
Yeah.
With Scott.
Any of the Scott Dr. Evil stuff is great.
That's good. And of course, just Dr. Evil, the initial experience, the Dr. Bigglesworth reveal.
Yeah.
And when he sits in the chair and it rolls back.
Yeah, that's like a subtle little one that I like.
I like the when he has that night when he's like up all night and he goes out and he's like trying all these new modern things, like he tries to listen to a CD.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And what gets me every time I bust out laughing is when he's pumping up the shoe and it explodes.
Oh my god.
The Reebok pump.
Yep.
Yeah. The clear radiation suit with the big head, and when he's trying to put his arms on his hips, he's trying to like lean on something and it goes up and trying to put it down, and that's fantastic. That sort of almost like Chevy Chase style humor where he can't do the thing he's trying to do and it's just nothing's working. Yeah. It's great.
Are they at least ill-tempered?
Yeah, really, Dr. Evil at like the boardroom desk.
Yeah.
I mean, it was so good that they overdid it in the next couple movies.
Right.
But it doesn't get better than that.
It's good. It's very good.
Those type of scenes, because much of that is improv.
Mm-hmm.
But those are the reasons why you're like, oh, you could definitely do a fourth. Or you could. This doesn't have to end now.
I think I saw that there was some chatter about it, or Mike Myers was open to doing a fourth episode, fourth installment.
I've been reading like little snippets about that for like the last 15 years.
Yeah. Like the most recent I saw was like in 22. It was talked about. So.
Well, he had that show on Netflix or whatever, the Triumvirate or the whatever it was called.
Right.
Which I watched and wasn't that great, but you could see bits and pieces from his Austin Powers era. Yeah. This movie is just chock full of, it's all scenes and quotes.
It's
just is.
Terrific. I like him with Burt Bacharach. That what was that on the tour bus or whatever?
In Vegas.
Yeah.
It's really good. Okay. The How Much Are They Worth game.
And now, let's play the How Much Are They Worth game.
So the pickings get real slim after the first few people here, but going from, I don't know, least prominent to most prominent, Mimi Rogers, Robert Wagner, Seth Green, Elizabeth Hurley, and Mike Myers. So let's start with Rogers.
Whew. Okay.
She probably gave all her money to Scientology, so...
How do we bake that in? She... I can find this. I mean, she has not been super active lately.
Looks like a lot of TV.
Yeah.
Ash versus Evil Dead.
114 actress.
114 acting, 6 producer credits.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of TV.
TV movie TV movie actor or producer credits.
Yeah. Not a lot of stuff that I know, which is fine.
But he was married to Tom Cruise.
Yes, she was. I don't know where to go with this. There's so many variables with her.
Okay. I wrote down my number.
I have a number.
I've got a number. Eric, what's your number?
5 million.
Ooh.
I had 10.
Oh, I had 25.
I mean, she's had a long career, so, but
yeah, I'm thinking she got something from Tom.
Maybe. Oh. Somebody nailed it. Mimi Rogers is an American actress, producer, and professional poker player.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Who has a net worth of $10 million.
Ah.
I nailed it.
That's
a double whammy for me.
Great. Okay.
Okay. Robert Wagner. He has been around forever. God.
94 years old.
I know.
He's 94 years old.
154 actor credits. Wow.
One of his main things that he's known for is Austin Powers.
Right.
Okay, this guy. Good Lord. There's a lot there. All right, Bobby Wags.
Okay.
I have a number.
You do?
I have a number.
All right, Eric, what do you got?
I'm going to say 40 million.
40 what?
40.
40, 40, okay.
40.
I had 21.
Ooh. I had 30.
Oh, we are spanning the gamut. Okay. Robert Wagner. Damn it! Robert Wagner is an American actor who has a net worth of 20 million. Off by one. I almost had a double factor.
Cheater.
What? Fuck. 20? Wow. See, the site is starting to do things that we've been asking it to do now.
Okay.
That is a combined net worth with his wife of several decades. Let me go back to Mimi.
Jill St. John.
There you go. Mimi Rogers is also notable for being a former wife of fellow actor Tom Cruise. Oh, blah, 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 whatever. Okay. Well, at least it's starting to put a little bit of context in these numbers. Okay. Seth Green. I mean, it's a lot of Family Guy, Robot Chicken stuff, right?
Yeah.
Robot chicken money.
Yeah. Which I don't think Fox pays or paid that well, but he's been doing that for a long time.
Been doing it for 25 years.
Yeah, plus his
He was
movies.
the voice of Howard the Duck in Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, he showed up Howard the Duck a couple of times.
Ooh, I have a number. He's
He's been in a lot of stuff.
He's been in a lot of stuff. He's been doing some fairly high-profile stuff for a long time. Well, he was in, what is it? Can't Buy Me Love? What's it called?
No, Can't Hardly Wait.
Can't Hardly Wait.
It wasn't Can't Buy Me Love, though.
Make me waste my flavor.
Al, give us your number.
40.
Eric?
50.
Oh, I had 30. We are not bunching up like we usually do. Seth Green. Ooh, someone nailed it. Seth Green is an American actor, director, and producer who has a net worth of $40 million. Allison nails it. Times 2.
Good for him.
Huh? Okay, it's 3-2.
All right, Elizabeth
And
Hurley.
Elizabeth Hurley is on the clock. One. There we go. Yeah. In terms of, I don't know, on-screen time, we have not seen her in a while. I mean, she's doing stuff, I guess, but nothing that is super
You're
notable.
watching.
What?
That you watch, and
Yeah. Okay, blah, 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 blah. Bedazzled was 2000. That Brendan Fraser movie. Austin Powers, I mean, that was 99. Who Shied Me? Yeah, okay. Lots of whatever.
it's also got like all of her like modeling.
Yeah. That's kind of hard to, I don't know how to quantify that at all. I really don't know.
I've got a number.
All right. Eric, give us your number for Elizabeth Hurley.
I'll say 25 million.
25. Al?
I had 65.
I had 15.
Whoa.
I have the modeling stuff, I have no idea.
Yeah, I have no idea how to quantify that either.
Yeah. Elizabeth Hurley is an English actress and model who has a net worth of $50 million. Wow. I thought I wouldn't have gone that high, but I thought about going higher. But good Lord. All right. It is 3-3.
Uh-oh, Ray.
With
I'm in trouble.
Mr. Mike Myers as
I cannot. There's nothing I can do here.
No, there is not. But
you can get on the board.
Yeah.
Who's going to be our tiebreaker if we tie, Al?
Will Ferrell.
Yeah.
Will Ferrell it is. Will Ferrell.
Oh yeah, he was in Bohemian Rhapsody. I forgot he played that part.
Yeah. He was in.
He's got Shrek money.
I know, the Shrek thing is
Holy
big.
cow. Cat in the Hat.
Cat in the Hat. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
The Love Guru.
That's a forgettable movie.
Of course, all the Wayne's World. So I married an axe murderer.
Inglourious Bastards. This is a small role. Ooh. Mikey Myers.
I've got a number.
I don't know what to make of my own number. I think it might be low. Eric, what's your Mike Myers number?
I'm going to say 75 million.
Al, what's your number?
110.
That's what I put down.
Oh.
Exactly what I put down.
All right.
Oh my God. So
right.
we are tying for sure. Good God. The triple tie whammy. Mike Myers. Mike Myers is a Canadian-born actor, comedian, writer, and producer who has a net worth of $200 million.
Woo! Wow.
Dang.
I thought I might be low. Yeah. Had I taken my own strategy of Price is Writing and not doing 110, but doing 111.
Yeah.
Shit balls. Okay, Will Ferrell it is. Will Ferrell. Will Ferrell for all the marbles.
Oof. I feel like, and we've done this before with Elf.
Yeah.
I don't remember what it was.
No. I have no idea. Not bada bing, bada boom. Oh wait, what? Just I don't know. Willie Ferrell. Had some big movies.
Oh, he was an executive producer for Dead to Me.
Yeah. He does have
Spirited,
some producer credits too. Will Ferrell. This guy. All right. Will Ferrell, Anchorman, blah, blah, blah. Talladega Nights, whatever. What's your number?
200.
Shit. 141. I don't like my number. I think I knocked myself out. Oh, Will Ferrell is an American comedian, actor, and writer who has a net worth of $160 million.
Oh, damn it.
Wow.
Bummer.
That was the closest one we've ever had?
Yeah.
Or one of them. Well, Austin Powers.
We finally did this one. We've been talking about doing it for a long time.
We could do the next one anytime soon. Yeah, we should probably just do these like right after another one. Right after each other. It's great. It holds up. It's really good.
Yep.
It's super funny. It's better than I remember it being. Better than you remember it being.
Yeah.
You can't go wrong with this movie.
It's very good. And there's like to the point you made earlier, like when you realize how much it's like connected to other things, like it's actually genius in how many separate things were pulled together to make it be one kind of story with these characters.
It's like Tarantino.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But Mike Myers and his British humor stuff.
Right.
Eric, any final thoughts?
Yeah, I was just sort of thinking because it's so good and so funny. It became so much of a almost cliche at this point. It I don't know what I'm saying, but it took me it takes you you have to really sort of, I don't know. Never mind. I got it. Edit that out.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know where I was going with that.
Yes.
I don't know where I was going with that.
Trick, yeah.
Yeah.
But it is a movie that got so big and so funny, and there's so many like strands. It almost like took over Mike Myers' career.
Yeah.
It felt like for a while, and that's
He almost
probably,
had to, I think he had to go away.
Yeah, that's probably why he didn't do a fourth one, because like that character in that world is so full of options that you could just do that for your whole career and just never do anything else.
Yeah.
And a lot of people would want that, but he didn't. So maybe we'll get one more. I doubt it. It's great. If you haven't watched it, why are you listening to this podcast? If you have watched it, go watch it again. It's fantastic.
Yeah, baby, yeah.